You have the streaming live, but not recording.
We're about to record right now. Already started on YouTube,
See.
and we are all set. We're going to go on a roll. It is 9:05, so it's game time. I want to welcome you guys to our Thursday community, Forever Phoenix community session. Welcome to July. Welcome to the event 2.0. A lot of crazy stuff happening out there. And I just want to let everybody know more than ever, we got to stay aware. We have to continue to protect ourselves. We have to just watch our energy, because things are about to escalate even more. So none of this surprises me. Of course, cases are up all throughout the United States. And fear is in the air, even though death counts are down. Fear is in the air, and when that happens, people become very emotional. So tonight we're going to really just talk through some of that, and it's really going to be a carryover from our segment last Thursday. If you missed that segment, you probably want to go back and watch it to kind of like get caught up. But we talked about just navigating between the different dimensions, and now more than ever, it's like a part two happening now. Things die down for a little bit, we open back up, and guess what? Right as soon as things started opening it back up, now things are getting crazy again. And this is the time, especially us leading the pack, leading by example. We've got to watch our energy. So when you take what's happening with the cases, the fear in the air, and then you add to that the fact that we're in a political climate because of the year that we're in now, you put those two things together and it's the perfect storm. And that's just literally what it is. So, and when that type of stuff happens that we're going through right now, there's a lot of judgment, and people are judging each other, causing separation, divisions, and it's almost as if you have to pick a side. And again, that's just literally what's happening. So when I sat back and really spent some time with this morning, what came to me is that it's like the planet. It's like we have a tale of two Earths. The Earths are splitting. Okay, it's like Mother Earth. Mother Earth got upset and said, no, time out. I'm not doing this anymore. It's time to break up with humanity, because we've been the virus. And I don't think we really understand that with how we treat each other and how we treat the planet. So Mother Earth says, no, I'm moving forward, and I'm going to put some things in place where you guys are forced to not only look at yourselves, but look at each other. And that's literally what's going on now. So we're seeing this split between the old and the new. It's kind of like, is it Patti LaBelle that said love don't live here anymore? Who is that? Is that Patti LaBelle? I think that is. I love Patti. But it's almost as if Mother Earth is making a stance and saying, no, enough is enough. And that's why we're seeing the things that we're seeing that's taking place right now on the planet, and with all the confusion. But with any nasty breakup, what comes with it with nasty breakup? There's some friction before things get better. There's always some friction. So everything that we're seeing now, a couple months ago, I had a different emotional hold on it compared to where I am now. I'm just looking at things with a different lens, and I'm just holding a different type of thought process as we go through this, because it's kind of like what we expected. So, but not everybody is bearing that in mind. A lot of people are living in their feelings. A lot of people are living in judgment. A lot of people are, putting their judgments on other people and not allowing other people to live their truth. And some people are flat out scared to talk about what they stand for. So there's just a lot going on right now, but that's what's happening. We're seeing the earth split from the old to the new. And I was out in Annette, you know where the Rock is. I was at the Rock last week, and I had this energy come over me that was just so profound. And I remember reading about different vortexes all throughout the country that hold this energy, and I actually felt it. And a thought came to me, and Annette, I really wanted to segue and have you speak on this because I think that there are hot spots showing up on the planet right now where this new 5D energy is around. And if you're sensitive enough, you'll feel, I did not want to leave. It's kind of like I wanted to build a house right there. Like, I don't want to leave this space because I felt so good in it. And I was just really, really taken back. And I'm like, is this what the ascension of Mother Earth is really about? That as the planet is going through this and humanity follows, is it possible that this energy is going to be able to be felt all around the planet? Because if that's so, that's going to be really, really, really amazing. But I felt good about it because I went there because I had something troubling in my spirit, and I was just able to latch onto that energy. And it's like almost instantaneously, everything that I was dealing with just simmered down within me. It's like a knowing came over me that, you know what, all of this is going to work out, Ace. Everything is going to take place. And I left there like with it's almost as if that energy just sucked my issues, sucked my problems, sucked my challenges that I was facing at that moment. And they just disappeared. Literally went there with a heavy heart, left out of there feeling like Superman, literally. So, Annette, I don't know if you've heard of that, but, and I know you and I have talked about certain places in Cleveland holding this energy. Remember, I don't know if you remember, we had this conversation. He was like, no, Ace, Cleveland is known. I'm like, Cleveland ain't known to do nothing. But we were talking about that. But it was just interesting because I've been to this place a number of times because I just love the water. But to be able to feel the energy, that was a unique experience. So Annette, I'll turn it over to you. I don't know if you have anything on that.
Well, Lake Erie, there's a vortex in Lake Erie, and you were at Lake Erie. So, yeah, there's the vibration is definitely raising, and the duck pond is another one in Cleveland. But a lot of people don't realize that Lake Erie has a huge vortex. And if you study back when I think it's Lemurian Atlantis, all of those, you'll start recognizing that there's a lot of vortexes. Cleveland is a hot spot. A lot of people don't know that, but Cleveland is a hot spot for energy. And a lot of the parks now, I don't know how many of you have gone to the park, metro parks, but a lot of the parks now, the energy is raising there. And it's interesting how you said that you went there with a heavy heart, but you left as Superman. And to me, that feels like you were untangling your yarn, or you were at a toll booth in the fourth dimension. And so
I am dealing with this dog of mine. Say hi, Mario. Say hi to everybody. You have no business in here. Now he wants to lick on me and everything. You got to go. But and get this dog before I put him on timeout. Okay. Sorry about that. Now he's tearing everything up. Okay, I'm back.
okay, all right. See, that was that energy again, seeing how you were going to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My door was closed and then it opened. So it's almost as if he
Sure.
got up there and turned it. Yes, Michael, and I got a dog. Yeah, things are
Yeah.
happening here. I've got outvoted. Going back to the energy, And you were mentioned, I came with a heavy heart and I left. What's interesting is that I didn't have to do anything. I normally go there and I go to different places to process my thoughts. I didn't have to do anything this time. It's like I
Right.
went there and the fact that I was just present, everything just disappeared. And I'm like, wow, this is all I got to do moving forward. I'm good, you know. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but I just found it interesting that something just came over me and a peace just was in my spirit instantly. And I
Let me
just feel
ask you a
this is part of the
question,
new
Ace.
earth. Yeah,
Um, so, we've been studying the fourth dimension, and the fourth dimension is letting go. So, I mean, I know the rock, I know the energy that's there. So, could it have been possibly you went there to release? And
that
that's
could be
exactly
it.
what happened. So you
That was
did
the
not, you already
intention.
did the work going
Ah,
there.
okay. So you're saying the fact that I said, okay, I need to get around nature, get around water, just setting that was enough to put things in motion and I got
Right.
cleared. I
Yes.
like that. If it's that easy, I'm gonna be there all the time because to
But
take
why
some
do
people
we
with me
have to
and throw
go
them in the lake.
anywhere?
Well, yeah,
Right.
that's
But
the
why do
next
we have
level
to
for
go
me.
anywhere? Yeah.
That's the next level, I believe. Um, I'm not there yet, just being honest with you. I feel as though when I'm going through something, I feel like I have to escape and get away. It would have been nice
Mhm.
if I could have been like, okay, I'm dealing with this and I could be wherever downtown and just have it evaporate. But I guess because of habit, I go to these places to kind of escape, get
Mhm.
some seclusion, get some alone time, be able to process my thoughts. It was just profound with this experience how it happened because I could feel it flow through me. And I don't think that's ever happened like that before, ever. Like I've went and I felt better leaving, but this was like I didn't have to do anything other than just be there. And just like that.
Well, those of you who that know you, you know, you're a doer. You got to do things, you got to fix things, you got to make things right. And because of where you're at and where you're moving through the fourth dimension, remember the fourth dimension is about compassion and understanding. So the difference where you're at now versus where you were is you didn't have compassion and understanding for yourself before. You would beat yourself up, you would do everything, but now you're in a different frame. And so now, in going through the processes you're going through, going to the rock, going to nature, wherever you have to go, you have compassion for yourself and the awareness of that now that was not there.
Okay. That makes sense. I just think for all of us, however we do it, we've got to put a process in place because things are going to come up. They're going to keep coming up. They're I mean, especially now, more
Right.
than ever right now with everything going on. Um, I heard the governor today talking about kids got to go to school and wear masks between third grade and 12th grade. I'm like, and it's just like, wow. But with everything that's going on, we've got to be able to hold a higher space through all of this and make sure that, um, I guess, be at the middle of the bridge
Hmm.
and sit with how we're feeling and then and allow the process to take place. I think that's extremely important. Now, I want to ask you a question because I've been reading up on, is it called the Schumann resonance? And that's the energy meter on the planet because they say it's been spiking all around the planet and it goes to the energy that's taking place on the planet. So as the vibration is raising, is it possible that more hotspots are popping up in different areas? And could we also be the individuals that ignite these different hotspots? Let's say that San has a place that she goes to all the time, that she frequents, that she's taken her energy there and has become one with a certain part of this, let's say a trail, let's say there's a bench there that she goes there. Is it possible that now that things are lining up, you might go to your favorite spot and then ignite or unlock the vortex in that particular spot? Do you think that's possible?
I think we are the vortex.
Okay, keep going.
And so I think no matter where we go, that as we continue raising our vibration, as we continue to love ourselves, that we become the vortex around the planet. There are vortexes, Sedona's one, Cleveland's one. There's some other places that are have vortexes. Um, However, we are part of Mother Earth. And so as we raise our vibration, we create our own vortex and we become that. And as we unite, like with the people that are on the call, you know, we're creating a vortex now because we are one mind, we love, we're working on self, and we're going across the bridge. And so I believe that we're all vortexes, and that the more that we move into our essence of who we truly are, that we're going to see more spiking of that than ever before, because the planet is shifting, so we're shifting. And so what they're seeing is spiking of the love that's coming on the planet and the energy that's moving.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool because if that's the direction we're going in, I know what we're seeing. I know we're seeing the chaos. I know we're seeing the fallout. And I'm looking at all this as just ongoing shedding.
Mhm.
And it's shedding kind of fast. We don't see it as that. We see it as dense, thick, like, oh my God, here we go again. But I'm glad all this stuff is showing up. I'm really glad because it's being dealt with. But on the other side, it's also good to know that as we raise our vibration, this stuff is going to stay with us. It's not going to stay with us long at all. So whatever problems we have or challenges, it's going to be handled differently now because, like you said, Annette, we're in a different vibration. You know,
Right.
so for me to be able to go there, and because I was hit with a bunch of different stuff. I'm like, I got to get away for a minute, and um, and it happened so quick. If that's the direction we're going in, this is going to be what did kids say? This is going to be lit. I mean, this is going to be on fire because um, that's a great example of how quick we can just get rid of this stuff and move on. And and I remember feeling so powerful, like I can handle anything, literally anything, and it removed, I'm looking for another word of fear, maybe uncertainty, which is a long fear, but the uncertainty of life no longer troubled me after that moment. It was like, look, I can just settle into things, allow things to just unfold, and know that I'm gonna be okay, like no matter what. Um, it was very, I wish I could really put into words and describe the feeling, but there was a new level of confidence um, that may have been unlocked in me as I was walking away from that experience. Um,
You know, the one thing I would say is that you you got in touch with the true essence of who you are. And so as you're doing shedding, that more of you are coming forth on the planet and more of you are showing up. And so things that used to bother you before are not going to bother you because you're no longer who you were 2 days ago. We're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. And so what you felt today, I believe was an essence of who you truly are. And it was just saying, hey, this is who you truly are. You can be more of this. You just need to keep working on self, loving self, being compassionate and understanding with self. And so I
Trust.
really believe that, trusting in, the faith that's out there, it's already in there. So I see us working on all of these things and becoming the true essence of who we are. And everybody has their different way of getting there, but we're all going to get there. But it's our journey. So your process will be different than my process or someone else, but we all have a process and we're all going to get there.
I'm curious. Anybody want to speak about anything they've realized, let's say in the last 4 months, since March to now? Maybe um, an awakening. I'm going to share more of these because I feel that there's a ton of other people that are having these experiences, and they may be wondering, like, what the hell just happened? Is it a fluke? And I don't think it is. I think all of this stuff is happening by design as we continue to work on ourselves. So is anybody out there that want to just share a little bit about what they've been going through? The silent majority. Nobody. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to talk about something else in that. We're going to spend a little bit of time and talk about this hair analysis piece
Okay.
that I got to tell you, we've been doing this for what, pretty close to 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. So I was listening to a conference call, guys. This is all tied in together, and I feel like I'm awakening on like multiple different levels. Like I'm doing things at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning that I would laugh at like a year ago. And we've been working with this technology where we extract hair follicle, put it on this S drive, send it over to Germany, and it brings back. Now they've come out with some new improved reports that Annette has just been like literally dismantling and really putting some context and understanding to it. But it is all tied to our energy. It is so amazing how everything in the physical, when it's all backed up, it's all about the energy that we hold. And Annette, the reason I'm going in this direction is because you're talking about things change with us day to day, this, that, and the other. Our emotions change, how we think change. And we have to understand that we are literally manipulating trillions of cells in our body every solitary moment, every solitary minute, every solitary hour, every solitary day. And we're going to be talking a lot more about this technology because the invisible and visible come together once we understand. Imagine having the capability of being able to manipulate things within your body, not only by understanding the data, but understanding who you are, the aspect of who you are with your higher self and the source energy that you come from, and being able to change things, and bringing about the experiences that you truly want, and not having to guess anymore, not having to hope anymore, not having to, I always remember as a kid, I was told, don't get my hopes up. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Why not? So imagine having this power to be able to understand where you are and to chart a course and take your life and take your journey in any direction that you want to. So, Annette, talk a little bit about the epigenetics with the hair analysis and how this process works, because guys, it's all tied in. It's all tied in to how we think, how we feel, how we handle our emotions. It's all tied in. I made a decision 2 weeks ago to alter an aspect of myself, and it was a deliberate intent decision. And what's interesting, I started shooting videos on it just by myself. I knew the change was going to come before the change came. It was like operating in the knowing. So when Annette's been dripping on me about this whole hair analysis thing and this technology, and I've been listening to these conference calls on this product and this process, guys, we really have something that's a game changer. And one of the things that we're going to be doing as Forever Phoenix is really going to be showcasing more how you can take over more of the physical that's going on in you. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It's kind of like when you play a game and you know all the rules, what do you start to do? You start bending those rules in what? In your favor. It's the same thing with what we got here. So, Annette, real quick, take a few minutes and share a little bit about the hair analysis. I know she's laughing at me because, I was up the last couple days just really studying in this stuff. But talk to everybody about the hair analysis and what it could do, and some of the results that you've been seeing as we've been doing this. I think for at least a year and a half, we've been doing this. So share with everybody about that.
Okay. I'm really excited about the hair analysis now more so than I was when we first purchased the software, because the company that created it and runs the testing is in Germany. And because of that, they are actually doing conference calls with the few of us that have the software here in the United States and training us more so in the depth of what the hair analysis does. So what we do is take 5 strands of hair. It's got to have the follicles on it, and we put it on this software. The software sends it to Germany. They have a database that has thousands and thousands of different components of the body, and it sends back a report. And the report will tell me, as far as one of the biggest things that I'm finding, and I know you all have been hearing a lot about the gut, and when we started with the event going on, we were all pushing, you got to build the immune system up. However, if the gut is not clear, if the gut cannot process, it doesn't matter how much stuff that you're putting in the system. So it's very important to make sure you're doing everything to heal your gut. Now, the one thing the hair analysis will show me is it shows me exactly what for you, the individual, what you need, which foods you need, or foods you should leave off for 90 days in order to start the healing process for the body. So it tests the gut, the immune system. It tells which vitamins, what minerals. It even tells us as far as the EMF, if you're picking up 5G, if you're on your computer too much. It tells all of that through the reports. The report is about 38 pages long, and it breaks every single thing down. The thing I like about it, and which is a bonus to me, is because now I can actually tell you what foods are good for you. You know how we go to the store, and I'll give you an example. I'm going to pick on Ace. When I first did his report, um, it gives you a list of things that you should not eat for 90 days. And the number one thing on his chart was chicken. He was not happy with me.
Was
I
not.
didn't do it. It was his report. This is what his body was saying. So, because he eats chicken every single day, and because we eat certain foods every single day, they become poison to us. The body has to process more of the food that we're eating that does not serve us more than the food that serves us. So, this report will pinpoint for me and tell me for your body exactly what foods you should eat, what foods you leave off. The other thing that was interesting for me is that when we were running the reports, there were foods that were showing up on the report that people were saying, and then I don't eat that. And so it was baffling me why this was coming up. Well, on our call that we had yesterday, talking to the guy who is over the company, when food shows up that you don't eat, it's picking up energies from your ancestors. So maybe your grandfather ate this type of food, maybe someone in your family. So the genetics of this food is still lingering in your energy. And so it's letting you know that these foods you're sensitive to. So that blew me away because it's like, man, there's food, there's energy still in me that's going back throughout my generation. And so the report really breaks down for you. And the thing that I like about it, all the things that support what's going on with the body is all through food. Now there are some clients I have that are like, and then I'm not eating all that stuff. So I've been able through the saliva testing also to come up with different herbs that people actually can take along with this. But for the hair analysis, it's all about eating right and right for you. I know in the past we've had eat right for your blood type and different things. But not all, just because my blood type is O doesn't mean that all foods are good for me. This report pinpoints for me, yes, this is good for you, this is not good for you. Avocados, I used to put them in my smoothies every day. Avocados showed up on my report. So I had to stop doing avocados. So what I'm finding with the report is that everything is in moderation. When you do something too much, it becomes a poison to the body.
What I really like about the technology is that it is person specific.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was not happy when chicken showed up on my thing. I knew it was going to be on there though. So seeing it on there was just a validation. And I believe I started to cut back. But what I really appreciate about the specific about it is that it goes beyond the physical. It goes all the way down into our anatomy, into our cells, and gives you a true understanding, not only of the physical, but also the invisible stuff you don't know is affecting you. Like she just mentioned, 5G. Okay, you would not know unless you were getting a huge dose of it that you were being affected by 5G. You can just walk around and be like, oh, I'm 5G infected. This report is picking these type of things up, and we have to be able to take advantage of this technology. When I found out the owner put $184 million behind this thing, I was blown away. Like, you got to be kidding me. Um, but that is how sophisticated this is. And I want to let you guys know there's something coming on the horizon. We're not going to break the news tonight, but there's something that they're about to drop that's going to really, really change a whole lot of stuff. So we want to be at the front end of this thing, because that's why this whole thing with Forever Phoenix has been set up. We want to be able to enhance the lives of everyone that we touch. We want people to feel good. We want people to have a good experience in life. Um, I'm a little older now, and I value the fact that I can get up every day and have no pain in my body. Like, I used to take that for granted. I don't do that now. And so the whole thing is taking advantage of technology that can give you the longevity that you're looking for, you know. And Annette is right. Everything is taken through the food. Imagine how much food we consume in our life. Think about that for a minute. Think of all the taco salads and the hamburgers and the different types of meats. And I mean, when you really think about the stuff that we put through our bodies, you have to ask yourself, okay, what are we really, really, really doing? And again, it's not a judgment. I was a big steak eater, until a number of Saturdays ago. I said, I'm done with this. And then I'm really looking at chicken now, because I think I'm down to turkey and chicken, and I'm really looking to walk away from that. Of course, in my own timing, there's no judgment, but that's all part of the evolving process. It's part of the ascension. A year ago, I don't think I'd have been able to walk away from a steak. You know, I just don't think. But now it's kind of like, no, thank you. And I also believe that if we support our body right, letting go of some of this stuff is going to take place naturally anyway. And then you add to it the fact that we're meditating in nature, spending time with ourselves, working on our energy, sourcing up. All of that plays a part. So I really feel that this technology can assist us in just moving through the process with a lot less pain. And I think food is also linked to the emotions. I remember one time I had 4 Chip Ahoy cookies, and I went into an instant depression. Instant, like it came on, and it happened a couple of times, and I linked it to the Chip Ahoy because I said the only thing I changed was these freaking cookies. And there's something that was enough. I was so low. I said, I don't want to ever have this feeling again. And I love Chip Ahoy cookies. Sometimes they're in the house and I'll go in the kitchen. I just have to watch them and size it up. And we got to have this conversation. But I have not had a Chip Ahoy cookie in about 3-4 years, maybe 3.5 years, because of that feeling that it brought upon me. And I don't even know what it is. It has to be a chemical or something that is not agreeing with me, that's triggering me and putting me in the dumps. So if you feel a shift in your energy, the first thing I think about is, what did I just eat? Because that could play a big part in it. Annette, you wanted to say something on that?
Yeah, in the report, there is a report showing additives that are in the food, and it'll show what you're sensitive to. So it's probably there was some kind of additive that was in the cookie that for you was not good. And so the report will actually show that also.
Yeah, it's our food. I don't even know what they're putting in our food anymore. I really don't. It's we have to take way more control of this. It's like this event. I didn't even know our medications were coming from China. Like, what the hell is really going on? We have to take more control personally of what we do. We've been too dependent and too trusting with a system that is focused on one thing, and that's profits. Profits. Have you guys seen the chickens at KFC? The drumsticks are as big as my hand. Like, what are we talking about here? I mean, when I was a kid, your chicken legs were chicken legs. Now they call them drumsticks because these things are like huge. Well, they're injecting the chickens with something. They have to. It's about mass production. It's about speeding things up. So if they're doing that to the animals and then it gets to us, what is that? You know what I'm saying? What type of effect is it having on us? So these are just some things that we have to think about, and we're going to continue talking about this stuff because it's time to talk about it. We're talking about ascension and holding this higher energy and moving through. Well, then a lot of that is tied to also what we're eating, what we're doing, how we take care of our body. And if you say that you love yourself, well, isn't loving yourself taking care of your body, taking care of your energy? And again, there's no judgment because I got a long way to go, but I've been noticing some different things. I'm the guy that has to get hit in the head before I get off and stop doing it. I have to have a Chip Ahoy experience for me to let something go, and I'm hard-headed. That's just how they deal with me. But it's important that we really, really start to take inventory of that. And not only that, work with our kids on that too. One of my sons stopped eating meat like a year ago. Like he just said, I'm done, Dad. And I was so proud of him because I couldn't do that at 20. I was a big meat eater, So we need to work with the next generation and try to get them on a different understanding before they develop these habits that could be pretty costly later on in the future. So Annette, it is 9:45. I'm gonna let you have the last segment and close it out, and we'll go from there.
Well, the one thing that really sticks with me, is that we're all on a path and we're all going somewhere. And until I really started looking at the hair analysis and saliva testing and some of the other things that we're doing, I'm starting to realize, even for myself, that self-care is so critical. And it's not about what someone else thinks self-care is for me, but my self-care for me is really critical, whether it's the food I'm eating, whether it's the thoughts I'm thinking, whether it's the energy that I'm diving into that I shouldn't be, everything for me right now, because I know that I'm on the bridge for 4G and moving forward. Everything I'm looking at under a microscope now. Things that were good for me last year aren't good for me anymore. And I'm okay with that. So for each one of you, I would just say start taking the time to spend that quiet time and just be with self. Ask yourself before you eat, do you really want this? Because most of the time we know that we don't want something, we just go on and eat it, and it could be an emotional thing. So, our thing at Forever Phoenix is to love yourself and to do self-care, whatever that is for you. And so I just challenge you to every day do something to love yourself and to take care of yourself. Because as far as the body, it's the only one you got. And so I wish each and every one of you a wonderful night, beautiful outside. And, I just challenge you, love yourself. That stuff from your past, is it that important that stops you from loving you and taking care of you? So that's all I have. Thank you all for coming on the call tonight. We appreciate you, love you, and we will see you on Monday at 7:00 for
right.
meditation with Ace.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so we want to do